carefully until I get to the 100. And then up to 100. This is a graduated cylinder.
College dropout cylinder, actually. That was a joke. What did you just say?
Okay, so now I take this 100 mils and I put it into a beaker. It says slowly to avoid disturbing the crystals. Do not pour any crystals in. Okay, so that is my first step. I want to use the little parafilm, put the parafilm back on. Now I'm going to take 20 mils of the 1 molar. So this stuff, I'll actually have some other bigger graduated cylinders. 20 mils. So, okay. Woo, that was too much. Am I allowed to pour back? Don't ever do this. This is bad manners. This is like spitting in the soup. Okay, there's 10. How many do I need total? 20?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I poured in the 20. Great. Then it says set up a ring stand, blah, blah, blah. You can do it on a ring stand or you can do it on a hot pad. And I'm going to let that go until it gets to boiling. So that's going to have to wait a while. Once I've heated it to boiling, you can see that it has a slight precipitate, not exactly much. And we're going to have to weigh that small precipitate. That precipitate will be on here, right? And so step 5 says to decant the liquid from the mixture in number 3 into the filter funnel. Avoid transferring any precipitate at this time. I'm thinking I might have a problem with this because I should have had more of a precipitate. We'll see. Okay, so this thing takes time, all right? So I'm going to leave that one alone, and I'm going to go with that now, okay? But basically, this will form a precipitate. You will filter the precipitate through here, back into this, right? You want to have it low down. And a little trick for keeping that from zipping up is you take your wash bottle and you squirt a little bit of distilled water onto it and it'll make the filter paper stay in place. Okay, so come on. Okay, so that's going to just cook. I'm going to walk over to this. You have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday to do all of these labs, okay? Once again, it's going to be group data, and then we'll do a group write-up from it. In an acid-base titration, step 1, this is actually 3 different labs that are combined into one lab set. It's usually easier time-wise to have everyone do it sequentially. Your lab group, you will be divided into 4 lab groups of 3 people, so you will not have to repeat the lab. Okay? You just have to make sure you do a really good job the first time. In titrating a titration is where you take a known amount of a standardized solution and you mix it with an unknown. Okay? And you go in increments, and as you go up in increments, the pH will change. So we're going to titrate a strong base with a strong acid. Now, notice that I have labeled the top of my burette acid. I have labeled this beaker, this is just a junky beaker, acid wave. I always keep my burette tip just below the height of the beaker to prevent splashing up. So I will want to lower this down. And remember, across is off. So put it so that it's off. This is labeled base. Typically we use acid red. Remember, because of phenolphthalein, acid, red. Bases are blue, so we have the tape. Use Sharpie marker for your tape. The beakers, please use pencil because that erases. Okay. When you want, or grease pen. So, is that blue? Now, I have 0.1 molar hydrochloric acid, and I'm going to get some of this. I need 10 mils for this lab. I look in the other labs, and I'm not going to need any more hydrochloric acid. When I go to get this for my group, I will want to use a graduated cylinder. So can you hand me one of those graduated cylinders over there? Thanks. And actually, can you give me two? Do me a favor. I don't have any. I'm going to label also because all these things are clear and they are very confusing. Sharpie's rule. Base. Acid. Okay. Now, in the graduate, it says I'm going to use how much acid? 10 mils. So when I go get the... Is everybody here? I think so.
Lydia's coming.